Good morning, everyone. Today, all I want you to do is to go through the thesis statement PowerPoint. Tomorrow, you will be assigned a writing assignment, a major writing assignment that will have multiple categories of grading: classwork, assessment, writing assignments. I will be assessing you on things. I'll be giving you classwork grades. You will have to work on it every day to get credit, and you will be assessed on this, okay? So this PowerPoint is really important, okay? In the past, we've learned that thesis statements are central ideas, position statements, etc. You've written them before, but I've always given you the blueprint. Now you need a little bit more, okay? So I'm going to go through the PowerPoint with you, all right? A thesis statement is a sentence that tells readers the main points your paper covers and in what order they appear. It's your paper squeezed in one sentence somewhere in the introduction. I know the PowerPoint says at the end. If it's somewhere in the first paragraph, it's okay for me, okay? Remember, as always, I always want you to have a grabber too. We'll talk about grabbers. Okay? Thesis statement includes your standpoint, all right? Your thesis statement is going to be debatable. I could see your thesis statement and say, maybe I disagree with them, but then I read your essay and I say you've proven your point, and I could say, great thesis, all right? All right? Every paper needs a thesis statement. You put it in your introduction. Can it be longer than one sentence? No. But remember, we can have complex sentences, all right? We don't just have to say, the girl went to the store. We could say the beautiful young lady with the beautiful brown hair went to the store to purchase a quart of milk. Remember compound sentences, all right? Sometimes you might be writing your essay and you could go back to the thesis statement and you could modify it a little bit. That's fine, okay? That's what editing is. A strong thesis statement is disputable, focused, and relevant, all right? All right, your thesis statement should answer the questions how or why, provide the logic of the paper. It should cover the entire paper. Now, your thesis statement is going to be about all the things you read and about the film you watched during makeup week. It's going to be about dystopian literature. All right, I sent you a PowerPoint on dystopian literature. It is on Google Classroom. Okay, dystopian literature such as Hunger Games, Divergent. Some of you even asked me for your own recommendations of movies that I had never heard of, and I have them on my movie list to watch during quarantine. All right. I just want to go to the end of the PowerPoint, and you should go through all these rules. Okay. You're not going to say, I think that dystopian literature should be this. I think that this should be that. Okay. Go through the entire PowerPoint. Okay. Now, the last thing I have is a topic that I used to do with the seniors. We studied women in the military. It was quite interesting. I always try to be interesting. I do, guys. All right. And we studied women in the military. It was quite interesting. It was in the New York Times at the time. And they had to write something about women in the military. And one basic, fine thesis statement is women in the military are treated unfairly. That person's essay was then going to prove how women in the military are treated unfairly. So your thesis statement is going to have to be about why authors write dystopian literature. If you Google dystopian literature, there's tons of movies. I could have given you even more movies to watch, but of course some are rated R, and you know that we can't have rated R films, okay? But you saw The Maze Runner, Divergent, Hunger Games. These were hugely successful works of literature that then became major blockbuster movies, okay? And I'm trying to remember the name of a couple of the ones that you guys recommended and I allowed you to watch, but of course I can't find it. Okay? All right. I really want you to see the never used word slide. Do not say I, you, we. Personal pronouns, that's in our graveyard. Don't want you to say might, maybe, perhaps. Be strong in your opinion. However, don't say all women in the military are treated unfairly. Everything in the military is treated unfairly. All dystopian authors do that. You do not want to have that extremism option, okay? All right? You don't want to be vague somewhat, all right? And you also don't want to be over the top. All right? Also look at the 10 most common mistakes in a thesis statement. Read those over, okay? I am going to give you a handout. I am going to give you a format, step by step by step. And like I said, this will be each day you will have a grade. Tomorrow's assignment, you will have to create a thesis statement. Why do authors write dystopian literature? And think about it. If I did this lesson with you in the classroom, I would have said to you, when in high school, I hated the novel 1984. It was written in the 1950s. I hated it when I read it in the late 80s in high school. All right, I've already told you my age. I graduated high school in 90. Okay, I hated 1984 when I was in high school. I said, this guy, George Orwell, what is he thinking? He thinks we're going to have cameras everywhere in the 1980s. Well, fast forward to today's society, and there are cameras everywhere, okay? We could see everything that's going on in many blocks, okay? Detectives recently came to my house and said, ma'am, do you have any footage from your cameras from X amount of day? And unfortunately, my cameras don't go all the way to where they needed it to go, all right? But there are cameras everywhere. So dystopian literature, authors are writing it for a reason. Why did that person write The Lottery? What was Shirley Jackson afraid of? Why did the person who wrote Divergent write Divergent? Why did Hunger Games author write Hunger Games? Okay? Why did the guy who wrote Harrison Bergeron write Harrison Bergeron? I hope you saw all of those amendments. You were taking U.S. history, and I'm sure your U.S. history is a little bit more laid back, as is the English curriculum. You would have known what amendments they go up to. Look up what amendments they go up to. Why is it significant that the author who wrote Harrison Bergeron had amendments in the 200s? What were they trying to do in society? It's very similar. Okay, I just read an article before I started teaching this morning. I just read an article that, many people want to get rid of the high school admissions test. They don't think it's fair that certain kids get into Stuyvesant or some of the top high schools. They don't think it's fair, okay? Some schools around the country don't want to have valedictorians. They don't think it's fair to the kid who does not succeed as much as the student with the 102, 103 average, who is bright and works very hard. Okay? So think about why authors wrote these things. This is you. You have to think this. Okay? This is a real thinking essay. Okay? And tomorrow, your assignment is going to be to just create your thesis statement. It is to be shared with me tomorrow. Okay? Shared with me tomorrow. So as you're looking at this PowerPoint and you're seeing the different examples and the words, okay? Think about our graveyard. Don't say, dystopian literatures wrote this because dystopian literature is good. Okay? There's a message there. Think of a complex sentence why dystopian literature is being written continually, every day. All right? I also think the television show and the movie The Purge, I think that's dystopian. All right? What if we went to this futuristic society where one night, that's what authors are saying. Okay, because remember, even if it's a television show and it didn't come from a book, someone still wrote that screenplay. Someone still wrote that. There is still a writer. Okay, so really think about tonight, why did dystopian authors write dystopian literature? And add to it, you could say somewhere in your essay, why are they so successful? Why do they make so much money at the box office and in the bestseller lists? Okay, so really think about it, okay? Your thesis statement will be a class grade. Okay, please keep up on your work. Please email me if you have any issues. I get way too many emails on Google Classroom. Please message me on Pupil Path. That is the best place. I sit on Pupil Path and I go through. I get too many alerts on Google Classroom. It's too much. Okay, you have to remember I have 5 classes and 150 students average about. Okay, so please remember that I do have a lot of students. I know you guys have a lot too. This is overwhelming. All right, I hope everyone is well. I'm sorry I'm not doing live teaching. I sent out a couple of messages to kids. One would be good. People haven't gotten back to me. If you want live teaching, I will do live teaching. If you want to do a Google Meet with just me, if you want me to call you to talk about dystopian literature, please message me on Pupil Path. Okay? Please make sure you go through this. Please make sure you go through this PowerPoint and you look at everything, okay? And they have a lot of resources. And I'm not going to lie, I found this thesis statement PowerPoint last year, and I am using it because it was really well done, and it was everything I would have said in a really good PowerPoint. All right, so I'm going to add this Screencastify recording to our PowerPoint. Hopefully everything will be good. So that is your assignment today, to think about what your thesis statement will be. It will be due tomorrow on a Google Doc. I will post it tomorrow, and then the submission of that for tomorrow will be your attendance question. Please pay attention each day to the Google Classroom, okay, and see what the attendance is. All right, and then please also check Pupil Path for your grades regularly. That was your assignment yesterday. I'm going to grade that soon. All right, I hope everyone is well. Stay safe. Have a great day.